This is your 2018 version of the M-65 field jacket. For those of you that are not aware, we started the M-65 field jacket program about a year ago. The idea is that once a year we would launch a new version of the M-65. The design stays about the same, but we'll change things up, like like Ranger eye placement, for example. Last year didn't have one, this year does. The coloring, maybe the hood, and quite possibly, obviously, the fabric of it. So the 2017 version was our ripstop. The version this year is actually going to be a custom milled fabric that Haley Stevenson, who's the same manufacturer and supplier of our waxed cotton and some of our Ventil products, they did a custom mill for us for this fabric. So this is actually a nylon and cotton canvas mix. So it's highly abrasion resistant, extremely water resistant, and just has a beautiful sheen to it. It almost looks waxed, but it is not waxed. So we're going to go over the features and benefits of this jacket, but we wanted to do just a quick overview of how this program works and what the M-65 means to TAD. So along with a lot of our other legacy products, this one really has a lot of heritage, especially on the military side. I think it was started around 1965. It was first issued in Vietnam. It was made popular by a lot of iconic pop culture stuff like Rambo and Taxi Driver and things like that. So it's been something that our core community has been asking from us for many years. And last year was the first iteration of it. This is now the second iteration of it. There will only be 500 available at this launch, and once they're gone, they are gone. Then we'll be working on a 2019 version that will come out next year. So they're really starting to become a collector's item, if you will, or if you already have a previous version, it is truly a pretty special piece that last year we only did about 350 pieces. This year we're going to do 500. So let's go ahead and jump down into some of the details and some macro shots. All right, so as we move in close here, you can kind of get a better look at the olive drab colorway. It changes upon the environmental lighting and direct sunlight. It appears to be a little bit more green. As you get into more office light, it appears to be more tan. And then when you get into the outdoors and shadows and things like that, it appears to be a mixture of kind of a dark green and black gray. So just to show you kind of the waterproof properties of that special milled fabric of that cotton canvas and nylon. Just to show you, it beads right off, so it's a nice weatherproof layer. Beads off nicely. You have a nice high collar here. You have branded triple up design button, contrast with the black against the olive drab, looks really nice. Beautiful seam lines, as you can see here and throughout. Included in the collar is the pull-out hood. If you notice, the zippers are the Ykk waterproof zippers. That was different from last year's version. And then you'll also notice the hood matches the colorway of the rest of the jacket, which is also different from last year's version. So you have a hood, pull-out hood, you can see here. Adjustment points on the sides. And then you have these low-profile drawstrings that you can use. Once you have the hood adjusted where you'd like it, you can simply tuck those in to maintain kind of a clean look, clean profile. I'll leave that out for now. Moving on down the jacket, again, just to show you some of the craftsmanship in this piece, you have the Ykk Weatherproofing Zippers. This is an early prototype, so this is at shiny. It should be more matte black in the final production version. As you can see, we have just nice accents and reinforcements of that nylon webbing against that cotton canvas. Clean exterior. So you have button snaps. Moving down to the chest, just in true M-65 design fashion, you have the two upper chest pockets. We've added a leather Ranger eye to this one. We originally had that down kind of traditional placement, but we found that it just didn't look quite right, didn't fit well, and then the back end seams just didn't quite work with how the fabric overlays work down here. So we wanted to have some external branding on this one, certainly to set it aside from the previous version, but also to show some TAD pride. So you have a really nice leather Ranger eye there. Top pockets are a single snap open and closure. You have zipper and snap closures on the jacket overall. Let's go ahead and show you. Moving to the interior, so you have just real nice clean lines. You have a second zipper in here for the zip-in liner that we'll show here separately. You have this cotton canvas overlay to protect the wear against the zippers once you have the liner included or inserted into the jacket. So you can see that's on both sides. So as we move down the jacket, open it up, you have two drawstrings on the left and right. So you can adjust the waist to be a little bit more form-fitting if you'd like, or looser. All depends on the weather. Primarily this is for wind, to keep that wind from coming up under the jacket. Moving around to the sleeves, you'll notice that you have an adjustment point here, cuff adjustment, and we've also angled this as well. This stays pretty true to the 2017 version and some traditional M-65 designs. So then moving around to the back, we've included a really nice bi-swing. So if you do get into some higher mobility than just kind of everyday stuff, if you're bike commuting, if you're climbing, if you happen to use this at the range or something like that, you have a really nice full range of motion as you extend your arms forward. So you have that nice bi-swing there included. And what we'll do now is go ahead and go over the liner and then show the liner attached to this outer shell. So here's the included liner that comes with the M-65. So really you're getting two jackets for the price of one, so to speak. So it's the same liner as last year. We were going to change it up a little bit, but we decided we're going to kind of hold off on that for future iterations. So it's a lightly filled Polartec Power Fill, so it's the same insulation as our Bastion hoodie, just in a lighter insulation. So you have this really beautiful gridded nylon face fabric. It's 100% nylon shell. And then of course the Polartec Power Fill inside. We did this really traditional, we wanted to stay to the roots of kind of the old M65s and their liner, so we kind of did this traditional wave in the seams. Just going over some of the features and benefits of this one, you have our amphibious cloth, our 100% nylon amphibious cloth accents. So you have shoulder reinforcements here, you have forearm reinforcements, and then those wrap around to the elbow as well. So this is fully functional by itself. You have a button here, so when you do attach it into the M65, you can attach it in here. Obviously the zippers attach to the M65 as well, or the outer shell. Going down to the cuffs, you have two buttons here, and then this button actually also buttons into the sleeve of the outer shell as well. So once it's in, it's not moving on you. The sleeves aren't going to bunch up if you do choose to use that feature and button that into the cuff of the shell. Just to zip it open and kind of show it to you. It's super lightweight, very thin, just lightly insulated, balls up really nicely. So, you know, if the weather does change on you and you don't need a liner, you can quickly take it out, ball it up, and put it in a pocket. Speaking of pockets, you do have two side pockets here. They are lined with the amphibious cloth. And what we'll do now is go ahead and attach the liner to the M65 just to show you how that works. So we've got the liner on now, and then you put the shell on. First thing we suggest doing is button the buttons on the liner into the cuffs of the shell, and then up here at the top there's a slot on the collar of the shell. You'll just go ahead and button the liner in up here on the collar, so you kind of have a baseline. You don't have to zip it in, but it does help with the liner and the shell moving together. The way that would work, I've already started this side, but you just fold the zippers to meet from the liner to the shell. Start the zipper, run it up like so. And then you would tuck that flat so it's seamless. So to show what that looks like on this side, you have this inner zipper here, zipper on the liner. Get those started. Go go ahead and start to zip that up. And again, just kind of tuck that zipper behind this flap that's on the shell. And there you go. You now have one seamless piece. And then if you want to zip the shell up, if you get into some inclement weather, it's easily done. And then you could run the button snaps, snap the collar, or I'm sorry, button the collar, deploy the hood, and you've got really nice weatherproof protection and insulation. So there you have it. That's kind of your quick overview of the 2018 version of the M-65 Field Jacket.